Welcome in Craft and Design 3.0. I'm for my dear audience. In this video, I will describe some different and much beautiful ideas of die, cooled welding, sculpture craft, or metal welding, or metal art, or welding project, different design, art and craft. So, my dear guys, when we talk about die, cool welding, sculpture craft, then different questions arise in our mind like is what type of welding is used for dyeing or what is the best dye welding or how do you cool welds or how do you cold welding. So my dear guys, the MIG, gasless MIG and stick welding process are the most appropriate for home welding needs. But having a TIG sport comes as icing on the cake, allowing you to complete even the most delicate jobs like fixing a visible metal piece of a furniture and other different. So, arc stick is a good option for beginners. So most people pick up the basic quickly and then take time learning to master the process. So this type of welding is useful for dye projects or repairs that involves dirty or rusty materials or when working with thick metals. So the welding, especially cool welding, the welding cooling process is carried out either by air or quick cooling method. So cooling through the air weakness the resistance of the steel metal. So cooling by water improves the properties of the steel metal. So reduction factors should be used when air is used for cooling. So the cold welding process works by pressing two metal surfaces together. So the applied pressure bring the surface as close as possible. So as the space between surfaces becomes extremely narrow, so the nanoscale distance becomes irrelevant, making the atoms jump from one surface to another. So, what is the easiest welding for dye? Because MIG welding is the most beginner friendly types of welding. It is a faster process that is easy to learn and forgiving of mistakes. So, TIG welding is a slower process that requires more time to master and produces more precise weld on a variety of materials type. So, can I do weld at home? That's simple in cool welding. However, it is possible to learn welding at home through different tutorial and plenty of practice. So, if you have a safe spaces like garage to set up a welding shop, you can learn to weld with a wire feed welder that uses ordinary household electrical current to produce an extremely hot electric arc. So, my dear guys, best type of welding for hobby metal inert gas like as a MIG. It is much beneficial for cool welding project. So there are many different types of welder, but metal inert gas welding is generally considered the most suited to beginners or hobbyists. Why MIG weld might be right choice for you because it is a much interesting ideas in which you can learn a lot of. So what is the welding process? Welding process when fusing two or more parts using heat, pressure, or both. So it is often done on metal, thermoplastic, and even wood. So the resulting joint is known as weldment, and the conjoined parts as known as parent material. So the material used to create the weldment is called foil or any consumable. So what is the most useful type of welding? When we talk about a cool welding in project shield metal arc welding stick is the most popular welding process, so it is the most versatile and uses the simplest equipment. So the small light electrode and A holder can be used in very tight places or reach several hundred feet away from the welding power supply. So, can I cool a weld with water? So, never use water as coolant. So, technically, suitable coolant must be used to cool a liquid cool welding torch. So, how do you cool steel? Uh, when we talk about cool welding, then what are much interesting about in cooling process? So, quenching steel in water cools the metal rapidly and making it excellent for achieving maximum hardness in certain applications. However, its cooling speed can also result in distortion and cracking due to internal stress buildup. As a result, further metallurgy process are required to finish the part. So, cold welding or contact welding is a solid state welding when we define in a briefly or explaining process that requires little or no heat or fusion to join two or more metals together. Instead, the energy used for creating a weld comes in the form of a pressure. So, in cooled welding is a solid state welding process also requires little or no heat. So, instead, the energy used to join the material together come in the form of pressure. So, during the cooled welding process, uh, no metal is liquefied or even heated to a notable degree or prescription degree. Uh, so, why is it called? Because it's called cooled welding because it requires little to no heat. Welding usually uses high heat and pressure to transform metals on pressure rather than pressure and heat. So, cool welding was first recognized as a general material phenomenon in the 1940s. So, it was then discovered that two clean flat surfaces of similar metal would strongly adhere if brought into contact while in a vacuum, Seavan and Wales force. So, how do you make a homemade welding rod for best in confectionment? Basically, a steel rod is wrapped in cellulose paper soaked in sodium silicate and also the wrapping is kept to maintain close contact with the rod. So the electrode then dried out. I used a toaster oven, so rather oven or some time in the sun should do be tricks as well. And which welding is faster in cool welding project. It's also MIG welding is also faster process than TIG welding, allowing for longer runs to be complete in less time. So my dear guys, uh, I think that my these ideas and my video inspired you much. I think because my thinking is best for my dear guys and my dear audience. If my dear audience, my idea inspired, then subscribe my channel and like my video and share and more share my video. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.